You've got questions? We've got answers. Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, answering the questions that new leaders ask us. Actually, it's our goal to help all leaders be more successful, confident, and productive. And today, to help in that quest, we're talking about the power of practice. Are you ready? Let's go. In the last episode here on BudToBoss.com, I mentioned practice, and I wanted to say more about it, so I decided to record this episode about the power of practice. What I said in that last episode was true as far as it went, but I wanted to say more. See, you're watching me because you're a new leader, you're transitioning from Bud to Boss, or even if you're not, you're a leader and you want to get better, and you probably have a sense that practice can help you, and I believe that it can. So I've got 4 ideas today to help you with the idea of practice, the power of practice, and so here we go. The first one is practice can help us get better. Yes, it can. Practice can help us get better. And that's pretty much what I said in the other episode that I mentioned. And that's true as far as it goes. Really what happens is that practice makes permanent. The things that we practice become the ways we're going to do it. So if we're practicing the right stuff, we're going to get better at the right stuff. If we're practicing the wrong stuff, we're going to lock in the wrong stuff. You've probably heard that practice makes perfect, which is not true. See, if practice makes permanent, then really what that means is that perfect practice makes perfect. Whatever you're practicing, you're going to lock in, right? So practice can help us get better as long as we're practicing the right stuff, okay? Well, now you're saying, but wait a minute, Kevin, you've got this little tick in the back of your head right now. So let me say this. If you are new, you don't have much practice. I get that. So you're like, maybe I don't even know what I ought to be practicing, but I certainly don't have a lot of practice. And so I'm saying no time like the president to keep going at it, right? So listen, if you're new, you're trying to get better, give yourself a break. And remember this one little word, yet. I'm not as good as I want to be yet. I don't have as much practice as I'd like to have yet. Remember the word yet. That just means that I'm where I'm at and I'm going to get better, and the power of practice can help me get there. Third, there's this idea from a guy named Anders Ericsson who wrote a book that talks about the idea of deliberate practice. Now, I interviewed his co-author, Robert Poole, on an episode of our Remarkable Leadership podcast. There's a link here so you can go listen to it. But the idea of deliberate practice is that if we practice the right things in the right ways intentionally, it's far more powerful. And there's lots of stuff been written about this, and you could spend some time, Google that, right? Google deliberate practice. You can learn lots more. But what I'm really saying is we can't just go through the motions. We want to be intentionally and consciously and deliberately practicing the right things. And if we do that, the power of practice will really help us grow and improve. And lastly, because I want to lock in this idea for you, practice the right things and build a habit. You see, when we practice the right things, we lock them in and they become a habit. So as a leader, think about the things that you want to get better at. Start intentionally and deliberately practicing those things, and you will get better and you will start to lock those things in so that they become habits, so that you've built a new level. So like, here's your skill level. You build some intentional practice and you get better to this level. And then when you aren't thinking about it, you're better than you were before. So practice the right things. You'll be heading in the right direction. So hopefully this was helpful. And let me close with today's tweet. Practice done well, it is how we grow, improve, and build successful habits. Like I said, I hope this was helpful, and it gives you a little more insight into practice, just one of the hundreds of things, resources we've got on the Bud to Boss site. So if you're saying, like, I get the idea to practice, Kevin, but I don't need to know what are the things I ought to be practicing, go to BudToBoss.com. Hundreds of free resources there for you. Yes, there's some ways you can pay us to help you as well. Be happy to help you there, but lots of resources there with the intent purpose of helping you become the leader you were born to be.